You think you're waiting on love, but love is waiting on you. Peace isn't found in waiting, Queen. It's found in readiness. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you're actually prepared to hold. And most of us say we're ready for love, but the truth is, we're still rehearsing heartbreak. You know that space between healing and hoping? That's where we keep repeating rehearsals we swore we'd never do again. Hey, love. Welcome back. I'm Kayali Cole, and this space is for women learning to love from power, not panic. If this is your first time here, welcome home. If you've been walking with me for a while, you already know we grow here, not just glow. Before we dive in, I see a lot of you queens watching but not subscribing just yet. Go ahead and do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I'll wait. Thanks, Queen. And I promise every time we meet here, I'll bring you truth, growth, and something real you can use in your everyday walk. You give me your time, and I give you my best. That's our promise. So let's dive in. Now, let's talk about what receiving really means, right? I used to pray for love like it was a delivery order. God, send me him when I'm ready. Yeah. But readiness isn't about time passing. It's about transformation happening within, right? I remember one night sitting on my couch thinking I should feel fine by now. No drama, no texting wars, no tears. I thought distance meant healing. I didn't know I just traded noise for numbness. Peace without awareness, that's just silence. Healing isn't measured by how long you've been single. It's measured by how safe you feel in your own stillness. Because, babe, when your nervous system finally calms down, your soul starts telling the truth. When was the last time you sat with yourself, right? With no playlist, no scrolling, no distraction, and just listened. That's when you hear what's still hurting. You stop confusing loneliness with loss. You stop trying to prove your peace to people who only understand chaos. You start craving quiet over closure. That's the shift. That's readiness taking shape. Take a breath, Queen. I know this part's heavy. Exhale that pressure you've been carrying around trying to prove you're okay. Peace isn't a stranger. She's been standing right beside you, waiting for you to slow down long enough to notice her. You know what hit me one night? I realized I was still praying from panic. Not faith, not peace, panic. Because even in my stillness, I was still scared God would forget me. I remember sitting in the dark, phone face down, candle still burning, whispering, God, what am I doing wrong? And all I heard back was silence, not rejection, just quiet. And I felt this gentle nudge in my spirit that said, you're not being ignored. You're being rewired. Yeah. That's when I understood that silence is where the rewiring happens. Not when we get the text, not when the doorbell rings, but in those moments where we finally stop reaching for someone to prove we're still worthy of love. If that silence feels loud right now, it's not punishment. It's God changing your frequency. You've been tuned into survival so long, He's teaching you how to rest without fear that peace means loss. That's what readiness really looks like. When the quiet stops scaring you and starts comforting you instead. Now let me get a little nerdy for a second. Psychologists say our brains get addicted to unpredictability because it releases dopamine. That's why that one on and off person still feels exciting long after they've stopped being healthy for you. We mistake anxiety for chemistry. So when calm shows up, it doesn't light up the same part of the brain. We call it boring. But boring, that's peace in disguise. If you grew up managing everybody's moods, calm can feel suspicious. So when someone shows up steady, you start waiting for the catch. That's not intuition. That's your nervous system trying to protect you from what's no longer happening inside. Real readiness starts when you stop auditioning for love and start allowing it. Spiritually, readiness isn't waiting for God to drop someone at your door. It's aligning with the energy that says, I can hold what I prayed for. You don't manifest love by chasing signs. You prepare for love by becoming safe in peace. I used to light candles, say my prayers, then stare at my phone like, God, work for Amazon Prime. Like, when is he going to show up? Girl, I almost burned down my sage just waiting for a man to call. Like, ridiculous. That's when I learned God doesn't send what you can't sustain. Every delay isn't denial, it's protection. Until you're emotionally steady enough to receive what won't collapse under pressure. That's grace, not punishment. Let's be real. We've all tried to manifest too early. You post the quote, you write the list, you visualize him in every detail, and then you check your phone every 5 minutes like there's a tracking information attached. There's none. But rushing the blessed doesn't make it come faster. It just makes the waiting louder. Does that sound like you right now? If it does, good. That means you're self-aware, and that's one step of readiness. Okay, let's get tangible. Readiness shows up in your habits long before it shows up in your relationships. It's in how you speak to yourself when nobody's watching. It's how you keep your home not perfect, but peaceful. When someone disappoints you, do you breathe or do you break? Readiness looks like boundaries that don't need a speech. It sounds like laughter that doesn't need to apologize. It feels like coming home to yourself after every disappointment instead of abandoning yourself again and again. Here's your small move this week. Each morning, put your hand over your heart and ask, what version of me am I preparing for today? The one who's waiting or the one who's ready? Whatever answer comes, write it down. Then close your journal and walk away. That's feminine embodiment, not forcing, just flowing from inner certainty. Attachment experts remind us that secure people aren't fearless. They're simply honest about their fear. They communicate instead of control. They allow instead of anticipate. And because of that, love lasts longer around them. Not because they're lucky, but because they're calm. That readiness, emotional regulation, wearing lipstick. Take a breath right now, right here. This is a part where we rise. When you move in peace, love recognizes you faster because love mirrors energy. It can't meet you in chaos if it lives in order. You've prayed, cried, journaled, healed, and rebuilt. Now it's time to receive. Not because you're perfect, but because you're present. Soft doesn't mean waiting in weakness. Soft means holding your standard with a steady hand and an open heart. You've learned discernment. You've learned rest. Now you're ready to hold what won't break you. So tonight, remind yourself, I am safe to receive love that feels like peace. Because waiting isn't punishment. It's preparation. And preparation is sacred. Take one last breath with me. Inhale. What's next? Exhale what's no longer yours. Before you go, make sure you subscribe. We're building a community of queens learning to love without losing themselves. Women who heal, rise, and reign. Drop a comment below if this message met you in your waiting season. And remember, stay calm, stay clear, stay crowned. Be blessed, queen.